Venus is a planet that surprises with its unique features. Imagine a day on it lasting longer than a year. Venus completes one full rotation around its axis in 243 Earth days, while its orbital path around the Sun takes only 225 days. This creates an incredible effect. A day on Venus is almost 8 times longer than its year. But that's not all. The planet's rotation is in the opposite direction compared to most other planets in the solar system, so the Sun rises in the west and sets in the east. While Earth rotates eastward, creating the familiar movement of the Sun across the sky, Venus demonstrates a completely different rhythm. Furthermore, the speed of its rotation on the axis is very slow, just 2 kilometers per hour. This means that the atmosphere, which is tens of times denser than Earth's, moves at a completely different speed, creating powerful winds that can reach 150 kilometers per hour. How does one reconcile this? Slow rotation and swift winds. The question arises, how does this affect Venus's climate? Temperatures rise to insane levels of 490 degrees Celsius, and this is not only due to its proximity to the Sun, but also because of the powerful greenhouse effect caused by carbon dioxide, which makes up about 96.7% of the atmosphere. Imagine being in an atmosphere where the pressure is 90 times higher than on Earth's surface. And what's even more shocking? Venus lacks liquid water, but scientists believe that in the past, the planet could have had oceans. So what happened to Venus? How could a planet that might have once resembled Earth become such a harsh place? Research continues, and each new discovery unveils mysteries that we are still unable to unravel. Imagine a star rotating so fast that its powerful magnetic fields emit radio waves with such precision that even the most advanced technologies would be amazed. These are pulsars, neutron stars left behind by the explosion of a supernova, with a density exceeding that of an atomic nucleus. 1 cubic centimeter of such matter weighs around 4 billion tons. Now imagine such a star rotating at an incredible speed, for example, at 100,000 revolutions per minute, sending out pulses of radio waves that we can detect on Earth. These pulsations, like a clock, beat with an accuracy reaching 1/1,000,000th of a second. In the 20th century, scientists first discovered pulsars, and this discovery caused a sensation. Their pulsations became a kind of cosmic clock. But here's the most interesting part. Thanks to their characteristics, pulsars can help astronomers measure gravitational waves emitted from the collisions of black holes and neutron stars. These colossal events create ripples in the space-time continuum, and pulsars, acting as highly sensitive antennas, pick up these oscillations, allowing scientists to study processes occurring in the most distant corners of the universe. In some cases, for example, the pulsar PSRJ 0737-3039, this is a double pulsar system where 2 pulsars orbit each other, and their interaction makes it possible to study the effect of time dilation predicted by Albert Einstein. It's hard to imagine that such phenomena can occur at a distance of more than 500 light-years from us. But that's not all. Pulsars serve not only for measuring time, but also for revealing the state of matter in extreme conditions, such as high pressures and temperatures. For example, pulsars can have magnetic fields millions of times stronger than Earth's, allowing scientists to better understand how matter behaves under such conditions. Did you know that there is a pulsar that emits radio waves with a period of just milliseconds? Its discovery was a real breakthrough in astronomy, as it raised new questions about how such unusual stars form. Thus, with the help of these cosmic clocks, we can not only measure time on cosmic scales, but also peer into the mysteries that the universe keeps hidden from our sight. Every day, approximately 100 tons of cosmic material in the form of meteor dust falls onto our planet. Imagine this. It's equivalent to the weight of 50 elephants falling to Earth, but it remains completely unnoticed by most of us. What's astonishing is that a large part of this material burns up in the atmosphere, creating brilliant meteor showers. Meteorites that don't burn up can reach the size of a tennis ball and weigh up to 20 kilograms, and these are the true cosmic messengers that can tell us about the origin of our solar system. Did you know that some of these meteorites, upon landing on Earth, carry water? This means that billions of years ago, they could have been a source of life for our planet. But that's not the most extraordinary thing. Scientists have found organic molecules in some meteorites containing elements such as carbon and hydrogen, which are the building blocks of life. And here's where it gets really fascinating. Among the meteorites that have fallen to Earth, there are some that have been traveling through space for millions of years, journeying between stars. One of the most famous is the Tunguska meteorite, which exploded in Siberia in 1898, destroying forests over an area of about 2,000 square meters. Scientists still argue about what caused this event. Was it a meteorite or a comet? If you thought that meteorites were just small rocks, think again. The largest meteorites, such as the Goba, can weigh more than 7 tons and be as large as a car. They contain metals like nickel and iron, and their study helps astronomers understand how planets formed. But did you know that in some meteorites, scientists find crystals that formed under conditions not found on our planet? This opens up new avenues for research on how life might have arisen in other corners of the universe. And here's something incredible. Every second, thousands of meteorites enter Earth's atmosphere, but only a small fraction of them reach the surface. So the next time you see a falling star, remember, it's not just beautiful, it's a real cosmic event that can reveal the mysteries of the universe. In the constellation of Taurus lies the Crab Nebula, a remnant of a supernova explosion that occurred more than 900 years ago. This cosmic phenomenon was so bright that it could be seen even during the daytime, and Chinese astronomers documented it in the year 1554. You won't believe it, but the explosion was so powerful that the light from it traveled through the universe for more than 8 centuries before reaching Earth. Imagine a new star shining brightly in the sky, visible to entire generations. The Crab Nebula has a diameter of about 6 light-years and appears as a mesmerizing structure composed of gases and dust that are scattered at speeds up to 2,000 kilometers per second. What's more fascinating is that this nebula is not just beautiful, it is also one of the most studied objects in astronomy due to its unique properties. But wait, there's more. At the center of the Crab Nebula lies a neutron star with an incredible density. 1 teaspoon of its material weighs more than a full pot of water. This neutron star rotates at an astonishing speed, completing a full rotation every 43 milliseconds, which means it makes more than 22 full rotations in 1 second. Astronomers believe that it is this rotating star that generates powerful radio waves that we can detect on Earth. And that's not all. The Crab Nebula is not just a stellar remnant. It also serves as a kind of laboratory for studying processes occurring in the cosmos. Research shows that the elements formed as a result of the explosion have become the basis for the formation of new stars and planets. Your mind might be spinning from the thought that something that happened more than 900 years ago continues to influence the formation of our galaxy and possibly even our Earth. But hold on, there's more. With the help of modern telescopes, astronomers have discovered that the Crab Nebula emits bright X-ray and gamma-ray radiation. These high-energy waves are the result of the interaction between the magnetic fields of the neutron star and the surrounding gas. Incidentally, this process is also the source of cosmic particles that, when they enter Earth's atmosphere, can cause rare phenomena like the aurora borealis. Imagine this. In the cosmos, more than 1,600 light-years away from us, there is an object that not only allows us to look into the past, but also influences our present. And the most amazing thing is that the Crab Nebula continues to expand, and in the future, it may become a source of new discoveries that will change our understanding of the universe. The observable universe has a diameter of approximately 93 billion light-years. But how is this possible if the universe is only 13.8 billion years old? Let's delve into this. The paradox of space expansion forces us to rethink the very nature of the universe. When we observe distant galaxies, we see them as they were billions of years ago, not as they are now. For instance, the light from some galaxies we see today may have left them when the universe was just a few 100 million years old. Intriguingly, the speed at which the universe is expanding exceeds the speed of light not only within individual objects, but also in the space itself. This means that some galaxies are so far away that their light will never reach us, even if the universe exists for an infinite amount of time. If you thought this was strange, consider this. Within the observable universe, there are regions that lie beyond our event horizon, and we will never see them. Scientific research shows that the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate, opening new horizons in cosmology. This acceleration is linked to mysterious dark energy, which makes up about 72% of all the energy in the universe. Estimates suggest that dark energy acts as a counterbalance to gravity, causing the universe to expand faster and faster. But that's not all. Scientific models predict that in the context of expanding space, the distance between galaxies can increase so rapidly that we can observe them disappearing from our visible horizon. If we imagine that our universe contains more than 200 billion galaxies, this number is staggering. And the most astonishing part? All these galaxies, star systems, and planets exist in a space that is constantly growing and changing, creating new mysteries for cosmic researchers. But what about the objects on the edge of our observation? They may simply disappear from our field of vision forever. In the cosmos, there exist mysterious hot Neptunes, planets that in their composition and appearance resemble Neptune, but are located very close to their stars. Imagine worlds where the surface temperature reaches thousands of degrees Celsius. It's as if you were on a red-hot frying pan, where the atmosphere consists of water vapor and various gases. These planets, such as Gliese 436b and Gliese 1214b, orbit their stars at distances of less than 1 astronomical unit, leading to extreme conditions. For example, Gliese 436b, located just 34 light-years away from us, has a temperature of around 700 degrees Celsius, making it one of the hottest objects in its category. But that's not all. Due to their proximity to the star, the atmospheres of these planets can be completely swept away into space, leaving only the core or creating dense clouds, as in the case of Gliese 1214b. What's even more astonishing? Scientists suggest that such planets may have water oceans, but not in the form we are familiar with. The temperature can melt the water, turning it into superheated steam that still ends up in the atmosphere. Recent research shows that on hot Neptunes, molecules can exist that we cannot even encounter on Earth, such as various forms of carbon that form at high temperatures. This discovery raises new questions for astronomers. How do such planets form? How can they retain their atmospheres at such high temperatures? And what happens to their ecosystems, if they exist at all? Studies show that on some hot Neptunes, storms can arise with speeds exceeding 300 kilometers per hour, comparable to hurricanes on our planet. But that's not all. The atmosphere can contain exotic elements such as sodium and potassium, which give the planets a special color. Some of them can be bright blue or even violet, like Neptune, but with a more scorching tint. And the question remains, can such worlds harbor life? The answer to this question remains open, but one thing is certain. The discovery of hot Neptunes changes our understanding of the possibility of life on exoplanets. Scientists continue to explore these distant worlds, and each new fact opens new horizons for understanding our universe. On the surface of the Moon, traces of astronauts who stepped onto its soil during the Apollo missions can still be seen. It is fascinating that these traces have remained unchanged for millions of years, which is impossible on Earth due to constant erosion and atmospheric changes. For instance, along craters and in lunar valleys, one can discern footprints left by astronauts' boots, as well as equipment marks. Given the temperature on the Moon, which ranges from -150 to +120 degrees Celsius, and the absence of an atmosphere that would erase these traces, they can remain untouched for long geological epochs. Did you know that lunar soil consists of small particles called regolith, which helps preserve these imprints? This regolith formed as a result of constant bombardment by micrometeoroids, which hit the Moon. These particles, incidentally, range in size from several microns to several millimeters, creating a unique texture that attracts the attention of scientists. Now imagine, when astronauts walked on the lunar surface, they left not only footprints, but also microscopic particles from their suits, which will remain there forever. The Apollo lunar mission spanned from the first landing in 1969 to the last in 1972, and we can still see the results of their work. For example, researchers found that in the crater Tiki, where astronauts landed, samples of lunar soil collected at that time are still in perfect condition. You won't believe it, but the hydrogen content in this soil suggests that in the future, water reserves could be created on the Moon for long-term missions. And that's not all. In some places on the Moon, remnants of scientific instruments left by astronauts can be found, which continue to collect data even after their return to Earth. These instruments, such as seismometers installed to study lunar earthquakes, will transmit information for many thousands of years. It is important to remember that each new lunar research opens new horizons, and perhaps in the future, we will be able to see not only human traces, but also natural phenomena that occur on this mysterious celestial body. In our galaxy, the Milky Way, there are hidden from 1 to 400 billion stars, and this number can be shocking if you consider that each of them may have its own planetary system. Imagine, in just our Milky Way alone, there are more stars than people on Earth. But that's not all. Scientists have calculated that in the known part of the universe, there are approximately 2 trillion galaxies. It's as if someone told you that in every galaxy similar to ours, there are also billions of stars, and you can only imagine how many planets might be orbiting these stars. Moreover, astronomers use powerful telescopes, such as the James Webb, to peer into the deepest corners of the cosmos, revealing new galaxies and stars that were inaccessible to observation just a few decades ago. Now imagine that each of these galaxies could be completely unique. Some of them have a spiral shape, like our Milky Way, while others may be elliptical or irregular. This diversity of shapes and sizes inspires astronomers to study their properties and interactions. For example, some galaxies collide with each other, creating spectacular cosmic shows where stars, like comets, approach and disperse. One such galaxy, Andromeda, is moving towards us at a speed of about 119 kilometers per second, and in approximately 4 billion years, a collision will occur. But that's not the most astonishing part. Did you know that only a few % of the total volume of the universe consists of stars and galaxies? The remaining 97% is made up of dark matter and dark energy, which remain one of the biggest mysteries in astronomy. Dark matter may hold galaxies together, but we cannot see it or directly measure it. It's like knowing you have weight, but not understanding where it comes from. Astronomers continue to study how galaxies form and how they evolve over time. Each new discovery can change our understanding of how the universe works. Some researchers even suggest that in other galaxies, conditions for life similar to those on Earth may exist. This raises the question, are there intelligent beings out there, in other galaxies, looking at stars and asking the same questions? Every new telescope and every new mission in space reveals more and more secrets about our universe. And of course, the anticipation of new discoveries always excites the imagination. For example, technologies are currently being developed to allow us to explore exoplanets in other star systems, and it's only a matter of time before we can see them with our own eyes. You won't believe it, but astronomers have already discovered thousands of exoplanets orbiting distant stars. In the cosmos, there exist mysterious objects known as brown dwarfs, and here's something astonishing. They are located at the boundary between stars and planets, but they cannot initiate thermonuclear reactions, making them uniquely different. Imagine this. The mass of a brown dwarf can range from approximately 30 to 80% of the mass of our Sun, yet they do not reach the necessary level to start hydrogen synthesis into helium. This means they do not shine like stars, but they can emit heat, making them difficult to detect. Picture a world where brown dwarfs hide among stars, like invisible giants, and only specialized telescopes like the Hubble Space Telescope can catch them. But that's not all. Some brown dwarfs can have planets orbiting around them. Yes, you heard it right. Around 30% of brown dwarfs are accompanied by planets that revolve around them, creating entirely unique solar systems that differ from anything we know. But how do they form? The secret lies in stellar clouds where gas and dust coalesce into clumps that can become stars or brown dwarfs, depending on their mass. Imagine this. In our Milky Way, there could be more than 100 million brown dwarfs, and they might represent one of the most mysterious parts of our universe. And now, the most incredible part. Some of them could be older than 4 billion years. This means they have witnessed the evolution of galaxies and the formation of new stars, all while remaining in the shadows. And as you imagine these ancient objects, you might wonder, how can we study them, and what can they tell us about the beginning of our cosmos? Scientists have long been working on new technologies that will allow us to peer into the depths of these enigmatic dwarfs. For instance, research using X-ray and infrared telescopes opens up new horizons in our understanding. Each brown dwarf is like a book filled with mysteries waiting to be discovered. And what's even more shocking? Some brown dwarfs can have atmospheres containing water and methane, which challenges our understanding of what is necessary for life. Do you know that there is no sound in space as we understand it? The vacuum does not transmit sound waves, so when astronomers observe stars, they do not hear a single whisper. But this is not the end of the story. Scientific research shows that there are electromagnetic oscillations in space that can be converted into sounds accessible to our hearing. Imagine, signals from planets, stars, and galaxies become music that we can listen to. These oscillations are created by the interaction of various particles and radiation emanating from space. For example, when the solar wind collides with Earth's magnetic field, it causes oscillations that scientists can detect. NASA actively uses this approach. In their Cosmic Sonometer program, they convert data from electromagnetic waves into audio files that we can listen to. Have you ever wondered what the solar wind sounds like? It's like hissing or rustling, as if the wind is passing through reeds. But that's not all. Signals from planets like Jupiter and Saturn represent a true symphony. When the Pioneer probe sent its data about Jupiter's magnetosphere in 1978, scientists discovered that these electromagnetic oscillations could be converted into sound waves. Thus, the music of Jupiter was born, sounding like deep basses and trills, filling space with mysterious harmony. But this is not just a scientific curiosity. These sounds help scientists better understand how planets and their atmospheres function. For example, by analyzing sound waves, we can learn about the presence of magnetic storms or how a planet's atmosphere reacts to the solar wind. And here's an interesting fact. The sound wave converted from data received from Earth can have a frequency comparable to musical notes. So, if you've ever heard of cosmic music, know that it's not just a fantasy, but a real result of complex interactions in the boundless cosmos. What do you think is still hidden in this silent universe? In the constellation of Aquarius lies a water cloud containing an astonishing 143 trillion times more water than all the oceans of Earth combined. This cloud, known as APM 08279 plus 5255, is located approximately 27 billion light-years away from us, and its volume of water is estimated to be around 133 billion tons. To grasp the scale, imagine that all the water on Earth amounts to just 1 trillion tons. But that's not all. The water cloud in Aquarius, according to scientists, is associated with a black hole whose mass is 2 billion times greater than that of our Sun. Do you understand what this means? This is not just a cloud, but a water reserve that could sustain life forms we have never seen before. Scientists suggest that such a concentration of water could serve as a foundation for possible life forms in exotic conditions. But how did such a cloud form in space? It turns out that it emerged from gas that was collected in the early days of galaxy formation. This gas condensed, forming clouds with high concentrations of water vapor, which in turn led to the creation of colossal water reserves. Now imagine standing before this gigantic cloud, surrounded by a black hole, and realizing that at the edge of the universe, there could be something we can't even begin to imagine. Moreover, this water cloud may contain molecules that could help us understand how life originated on Earth. Studies show that the conditions in this cloud could be similar to those on our planet during its early geological epochs. And the most exciting part, astronomers are just beginning to realize how vast and diverse the water reserves in the universe are. Ultimately, This discovery could change our understanding not only of the cosmos, but also of what it means to be alive in this boundless expanse. Have you ever wondered what else our universe might be hiding, besides this incredible cloud? Astronauts who have returned from spacewalks often share one unusual experience. They sense a smell that is hard to describe. NASA specialists and other researchers note that this space smell resembles a mixture of hot metal, welding, and cooked meat. But where does this remarkable aroma come from? It all has to do with microparticles that settle on spacesuits and equipment during spacewalks. When astronauts return to the spacecraft and remove their suits, these particles interact with the air, creating a unique atmosphere. Research shows that there are various chemical compounds in space, such as ozone, hydrogen, and carbon-containing molecules, which can create this smell. When these particles come into contact with oxygen, their molecules begin to react, releasing aromas familiar to us from Earth. One astronaut, Douglas Hurley, even described this smell as a welding smell that momentarily takes your breath away. But this is not the end of the mystery. The smell can change depending on the conditions of the spacewalk. For example, temperature and radiation levels can affect which particles settle on the suits. Now imagine that every breath you take in open space carries remnants of chemical reactions that occurred in the vacuum. Scientists also suggest that this smell may contain traces of organic compounds that were once part of comets or meteorites. Interestingly, the smell becomes particularly strong and distinctive after exiting Earth's atmosphere, when astronauts find themselves in conditions where oxygen is not in its usual form. But there's something even more astonishing. Astronauts note that this smell can remain on their suits even after they return to Earth. It almost absorbs into the material, and even after washing the suit, some astronauts report still being able to smell it. This creates an indelible impression and makes one think about how much more is still unknown in the cosmos. Research continues, and scientists hope to learn more about the chemical composition of these particles. For example, samples analyzed from missions show the presence of various elements, including iron and carbon, which can help explain some aspects of this unique smell. But wait, there's more. There are suggestions that the smell may even affect the psychological state of astronauts. So the next time you hear about the space smell, remember that it's not just an aroma, but a whole story about the interaction of chemistry, physics, and human experience in the vast expanse of space. Imagine that a day on a neutron star could last only a few milliseconds. Yes, you heard it right. These cosmic giants rotate at such incredible speeds that a full rotation can take less time than your breath. Some of them can make several hundred rotations per second. How is this possible? The fact is that neutron stars are formed as a result of the collapse of massive stars, and their density is mind-boggling. 1 cubic centimeter of neutron star material weighs about a ton. This means that the entire mass of the star is concentrated in a tiny volume, creating a powerful gravitational field that affects its rotation. But here is where it gets truly bizarre. With such compression and high rotation speed, the star can emit incredible radiation flows, including X-rays. Did you know that this radiation is so strong that it can be detected even on Earth? Neutron stars rotating at high speeds are called pulsars, and their light pulses can be recorded as regular signals, similar to lighthouses in space. These signals are very precise. The precision of pulsars is comparable to the most accurate atomic clocks. If you thought that was all, hold on tight. Some pulsars can even slow down under the influence of gravitational waves, raising many questions about the nature of space and time. But that's not all. Scientists have discovered that pulsars can serve as natural laboratories for studying physics in extreme conditions, allowing us to peer into mysteries that are still unexplored. For example, the influence of a strong magnetic field on the behavior of matter in such unusual conditions remains one of the most intriguing topics for research. Now imagine that on one of these neutron stars, in conditions that we cannot even fathom, life could exist, adapted to extreme conditions. Isn't that fascinating? At the center of some galaxies lie quasars, extraordinary objects that captivate with their brightness. Imagine a light source that can outshine 1 trillion stars. This means they shine as if an entire galaxy is in an explosion. But how is this possible? The answer lies in black holes located in these centers. Their mass can reach billions of solar masses. These black holes consume surrounding gas and dust, creating an accretion disk, a structure composed of heated material rotating at incredible speeds. The temperature in this disk can exceed several million degrees, and it is this very brightness that makes quasars visible from vast distances. Did you know that quasars can be seen from more than 10 billion light-years away? This means we are observing light that has traveled more than 10 billion years, when the universe was still young. And here is where it gets truly mind-boggling. Quasars emit not only visible light, but also radio waves, X-rays, and gamma rays, making them multifunctional beacons in the cosmos. Studies show that quasars can change their brightness throughout their existence, doing so in just a few days. This allows scientists to study the dynamics of accretion disks and the behavior of black holes. But wait, there's more. Quasars can be linked to the formation of galaxies, helping us understand how they evolve over time. For instance, some models suggest that powerful energy streams released by quasars can affect the surrounding environment, slowing down or even stopping the formation of new stars. This opens new horizons in our understanding of cosmic evolution. And the most astonishing fact? Some quasars emit more energy than all the stars in their home galaxy combined. So, when you look at the stars at night, remember, somewhere out there, in the depths of the universe, there are these fantastic objects capable of destroying and creating entire worlds. In the cosmos, there exist extraordinary objects known as blazars, which are more than just distant stars. These quasars, which emit an enormous amount of energy, possess jets, streams of matter directed straight towards Earth. What does this mean for us? Imagine a stream of matter being ejected from a black hole located hundreds of millions of light-years away, moving at nearly the speed of light. These jets are so powerful that their energy can exceed trillions of solar luminosities. But that's not all. Blazars can periodically turn on, and when they do, they become one of the brightest objects in the universe. For instance, the blazar known as OJ223, located about 1 billion light-years away, can emit 100 times more light than all the stars in our galaxy combined. What's even more astonishing? These jets can affect galaxies they pass through, causing powerful galactic winds and even the formation of new stars. How do they do this? The secret lies in their powerful magnetic field, which can accelerate charged particles to incredible speeds. Some researchers believe that the interaction of these jets with the surrounding medium is the key to understanding the formation of galaxies. For example, in the 21st century, astronomers noticed that the blazar PG2332, located approximately 1 billion light-years away, produces jets that influence the structure of the surrounding gas cloud, causing it to compress and form new stars. These observations open new horizons in astronomy, allowing us to better understand the dynamics of the universe. It's interesting to note that blazars can serve as beacons, helping scientists study the intergalactic space. Since light from these objects can pass through various structures and fields, it allows researchers to study phenomena such as the cosmic microwave background radiation. And here's where it gets really mind-boggling. Sound waves generated by the interaction of jets with the surrounding medium can even create soundscapes that astronomers can perceive using special instruments. What's even more intriguing? Some blazars have such powerful outbursts that they are observed even in the radio spectrum, making them some of the most studied objects in astronomy. For example, the blazar 3C111, located about 1,200,000,000 light-years away, has been the subject of numerous studies due to its bright radio waves, which allow astronomers to study not only the object itself, but also the space around it. This makes blazars not just cosmic phenomena, but true keys to unraveling many mysteries of our universe. Did you know what star nurseries are? They are regions of space where new stars are born from vast gas clouds, and one of the most famous nurseries is the Eagle Nebula. It is located about 2,500 light-years from Earth and spans 30 light-years in diameter. Within this nebula, not only stars but also giant molecular clouds are hidden, primarily composed of hydrogen and helium. These clouds are so dense that they create ideal conditions for gravitational collapse. mass begins to compress, and as a result, protostars form. Imagine this. In just one cloud, dozens, if not hundreds, of new stars can be born. And now, the most fascinating part. The temperature at the core of these clouds can reach several million degrees Celsius. It's as if all the energy we receive from the sun were concentrated in a tiny volume of space. But that's not all. In the Eagle Nebula, there is a star known as Haka, which is 300 times brighter than our sun and 80 times more massive. It emits such colossal amounts of light that around it, glowing cones of gas form, which can be observed even through telescopes. And what's even more astonishing? These cones and gas trails are not just beauty. They are indicators of how stars interact with the space around them. They destroy neighboring clouds, creating new nurseries for future stars. Furthermore, in such regions, one can encounter other amazing objects, such as protoplanetary disks that form around young stars and represent potential planetary systems. In the Eagle Nebula, disks have been discovered that could grow into entire planets like Earth. And this is not just theory. Astronomers believe that some of these disks have already begun to form their planets. But that's not all. Stars born in such nurseries can have very different fates. Some will become red giants, while others will explode as supernovae, leaving behind neutron stars or black holes. And now, imagine this. In the Eagle Nebula, countless such processes occur every second. Each new star is a new chapter in the cosmic history. But what happens to these stars when they begin to die? The answer to this question hides even more cosmic mysteries. On the northern pole of Saturn, there is a gigantic hexagonal storm with a diameter of 25,000 kilometers, which is almost 4 times larger than Earth itself. Imagine a hexagon with clear lines visible even from millions of kilometers away. This storm was detected by the Cassini spacecraft, which began exploring Saturn and its moons in 2006. But this is not just a weather phenomenon. The hexagonal formation has been present for decades and continues to amaze scientists with its continuous changes and unusual stability. Each angle of this hexagon reaches a length of around 14,000 kilometers, comparable to the distance from New York to Chicago. But how can such a gigantic formation remain stable for such a long time? The answer lies in the unique atmospheric conditions of Saturn, where winds can reach speeds of up to 140 kilometers per hour. These winds create incredible flows that keep the storm in one place, forming its clear contours. But what is truly astonishing? Inside this hexagon, there are powerful vortices that rotate clockwise. These vortices can reach sizes comparable to entire cities, yet the storm does not lose its shape. And now, the most shocking thing. Scientists have noticed that the storm changes color depending on the season on Saturn. When winter arrives, the hexagon becomes brighter, taking on rich shades of yellow to red. This is due to changes in the chemical composition of the atmosphere, where methane and ammonia begin to interact with sunlight. But there's something even more astonishing. Around the storm, there are other atmospheric phenomena as well. Clouds that form from ice crystals, and storms that intertwine with the hexagon. These clouds can form structures that look like giant icebergs floating in weightlessness. But that's not all. On the pole of Saturn, there are also strange light phenomena that occur due to complex interactions of sunlight and gas molecules in the atmosphere. Such flashes of light can be seen from orbit, creating an effect that defies imagination. It's hard to imagine that all this is happening on our neighboring planet, where temperatures drop to -200 degrees Celsius. In such conditions, life on Earth would be impossible, but on Saturn, the storm continues to exist as one of the most mysterious and fascinating atmospheric structures in the solar system. And the most interesting thing is that scientists continue to discover new facts about the hexagonal storm, each of which opens up new horizons for understanding the atmospheres of gas giants. But the question remains, what else does this mysterious world hide? Gamma-ray bursts, which we are discussing, are the most powerful explosions in the universe, releasing more energy in a single second than the sun does over its entire lifetime. Imagine that all the energy our sun produces over 10 billion years is released in an instant. These brief but incredibly bright bursts can last from milliseconds to several minutes and occur at distances measured in billions of light-years. Did you know that over the past few decades, astronomers have detected more than 40 gamma-ray bursts, and each one leaves scientists wondering, what causes these cosmic cataclysms? In most cases, gamma-ray bursts are the result of catastrophic events, such as the merger of neutron stars or the collapse of massive stars into black holes. But that's not the strangest part. In some cases, gamma-ray bursts can occur due to powerful outbursts on the surface of old dying stars. For example, the gamma-ray burst GRB0808, which occurred in 2008, was caused by the merger of two neutron stars, and its brightness was so great that it could be seen with the naked eye on Earth. This event opened a completely new perspective on how we understand cosmic phenomena. But wait, that's not all. Gamma-ray bursts can also eject enormous amounts of energy into space, creating elements heavier than iron, such as gold and platinum, making them not just explosions, but true factories for heavy elements. And what's even more shocking? Experts claim that if one of these gamma-ray bursts occurred within 100 light-years of Earth, it could cause mass extinction on our planet, as the radiation would be deadly to most forms of life. Each gamma-ray burst occurs on such a scale that its energy could outshine an entire galaxy for a short period. And if you think that's all, consider this. There is a theory that gamma-ray bursts may be connected to dark matter, which makes up 96% of the mass of the universe. These explosions not only serve as indicators of cosmic catastrophes, but may also be the key to unraveling the mystery of dark matter. Soon, astronomers hope to obtain more detailed data on gamma-ray bursts that could help solve the mysteries hidden in the deepest corners of our galaxy. Imagine a star, the size of our sun, rapidly approaching a black hole, and then the real madness begins. Gravity starts to act on the object with unimaginable force, stretching it into a long, thin thread, which astronomers have named cosmic spaghetti. This happens because the gravitational pull of the black hole varies depending on the distance. On one side of the object, gravity can be several times stronger than on the other. If we talk about specific numbers, the difference in forces can reach 30 times. As a result of this uneven influence, stars or other objects begin to stretch until they become a strand, the length of which can be millions of kilometers. But the most shocking thing is that this process can happen so quickly that the object can be completely destroyed before it even reaches the event horizon of the black hole. What happens to the remnants? Scientific models show that the remains of what was once a magnificent star can transform into a stream of high-energy radiation capable of illuminating entire galaxies. Researchers at the University of California, Berkeley, conducted simulations that showed that during the process of spaghettification, the object can release energy equivalent to that produced by 1 billion stars. But that's not all. Some scientists suggest that such an exotic form of matter could even be the source of new particles and phenomena that have not yet been observed. And you know what's even more fascinating? These cosmic spaghetti can provide us with clues about how gravity works, opening doors to new theories about the structure of the universe. In space, there are regions where the temperature is below absolute zero, and this sounds like science fiction, but it is indeed true, for example, in the Boomerang Nebula. The temperature in this nebula reaches an incredible -273.25 degrees Celsius, making it the coldest known place in the universe. Imagine this. Gas and dust scattering at speeds over 100 kilometers per second, and the temperature in this cloud is so low that molecules practically slow down to a standstill. But that's not all. The Boomerang Nebula exhibits a remarkable phenomenon, as it is actively expanding, and its shape resembles a drop, which is related to how a star, once similar to our sun, shed its outer layers. Many scientists believe that this process can help us understand how stars die and how planetary nebulae form. If you think this is already astonishing, here's another interesting fact. In this cold cloud, molecules of carbon have been found, which could be the basis for life. But how can such molecules exist under such extreme conditions? The answer lies in the fact that at low temperatures, molecules can maintain their stability and even form more complex structures. But there's more. Scientists have discovered that in the Boomerang Nebula, hydrogen molecules are also in a state close to condensation, which could mean that new stars could be forming in this cold place. And here's what's even more fascinating. This nebula is located at a distance of only about 14,000 light-years from us, and its study could provide keys to solving many cosmic mysteries. The study of this nebula involves powerful telescopes like Hubble and ALMA, opening up new horizons in our understanding of the universe. On Jupiter, a gigantic storm known as the Great Red Spot is raging, and this is not just a meteorological phenomenon, but an incredible natural event that has been present for more than 350 years. Imagine a never-ending vortex that could swallow 3 Earths. This storm, with a diameter of more than 16,000 kilometers, is so large that it can be seen even through a powerful telescope from Earth. Scientists believe that this vortex formed due to the constant interaction between Jupiter's atmospheric flows, where wind speeds can reach 150 kilometers per hour. And what is truly astonishing, the temperature in the center of this storm can reach several hundred degrees Celsius, while in its upper layers, it is extremely cold. But that's not the most unusual thing. Research conducted with the help of space missions like Galileo and Juno has shown that the Great Red Spot is not static. It is gradually shrinking. Over the past few decades, its size has decreased by more than 20%. How is this possible? Researchers suggest that changes in Jupiter's atmospheric conditions and interaction with other atmospheric fronts may be the cause of this mysterious shrinkage. Now imagine this. Within the storm system, powerful hurricanes and vortices are raging, and scientists still cannot precisely explain how they function. It is strange, but the storm not only does not weaken, but also causes dramatic changes in the atmosphere of the entire planet. Do you know what is even more astonishing? The wind at the edge of the Great Red Spot can reach speeds of more than 300 kilometers per hour, making it one of the most powerful storms in our solar system. And that's not all. With recent observations, it has been found that Jupiter's atmosphere also contains other storms that form in its polar regions. These storms can be larger than our Great Red Spot. Scientists call them polar vortices, and they represent a completely new mystery for astronomers. It is remarkable that on Jupiter, a planet mostly composed of gas, such dynamics exist that make us rethink everything we know about meteorology. Every new look at Jupiter reveals secrets that are waiting to be uncovered. Such storms as the Great Red Spot not only take your breath away, but also make you wonder how similar phenomena could look on other planets. And if you think that's all, get ready. In Jupiter's atmosphere, there are also other storms that could be even more massive and mysterious. On Jupiter, polar auroras can reach power levels hundreds of times greater than those on Earth. Imagine the scene. Brilliant, shimmering curtains of light enveloping the planet, creating a continuous fireworks display. These auroras arise due to Jupiter's powerful magnetic field, which is twice as strong as Earth's, interacting with streams of charged particles emanating from the Sun. What is truly astonishing is that the diameter of Jupiter's magnetosphere exceeds the distance from Earth to the Moon, making it the largest in the solar system. Did you know that the brightness of Jupiter's auroras can be so intense that they are visible from Earth with a powerful telescope? This is due to Jupiter's strong radiation belts, where electrons and ions collide with the planet's atmosphere, creating light. On Earth, we primarily see auroras due to the solar wind, but on Jupiter, the phenomenon is much more extensive. Studies show that at an altitude of about 100 kilometers above Jupiter's surface, auroras can reach temperatures of up to 10,000 degrees Celsius, equivalent to the surface temperature of the Sun. Now consider that this is happening around a planet that is 900 times more massive than Earth, with an atmosphere composed of hydrogen and helium and clouds filled with ammonia. But that's not all. On other planets like Saturn, auroras also have their unique characteristics. They are less intense but have a distinct color palette, creating extraordinary hues that cannot be seen on Earth. And here's the most incredible part. On Uranus and Neptune, auroras can change with the seasons, making them even more mysterious. Have you heard of planets where rain falls from molten glass? These exoplanets, known as hot Jupiters, are true wonders of cosmic physics. Imagine a world where the atmosphere is so heated that temperatures reach 1,000 degrees Celsius, and winds blow at speeds of 5,000 to 7,000 kilometers per hour, creating hurricanes that can sweep away entire mountains. On planets like WASP-121b, glass rain falls at an angle, creating genuine glass showers. But this is not just rain. Droplets of glass can heat up so much that upon impact with the surface, they shatter into tiny fragments, like fragile pieces of ceramic. How is this possible? The gravitational forces on these planets are much stronger than on Earth, allowing the atmosphere to hold exotic molecules that cannot exist in such conditions on our planet. Scientists have also discovered that these exoplanets contain iron molecules that condense into droplets, creating rain from molten metal. What is even more astonishing? On some of these planets, the wind speed is so great that it can tear clouds apart, creating an effect similar to lightning. This is not just theoretical modeling. Astronomers have already observed such phenomena using space telescopes that capture the spectrum of light passing through the atmospheres of exoplanets. Spectroscopy has revealed the presence of sodium and hydrogen molecules, indicating high atmospheric activity. These exoplanets orbit their stars on such close orbits that a year on them can last only a few days. This means they are constantly exposed to stellar radiation, further increasing their temperature. And here begins the real exoticism. The temperature on the side facing the star can reach 400 degrees, while on the dark side, it can be freezing cold. But that's not all. Some hot Jupiters have such strong magnetic fields that their atmospheres are literally blown into space, creating unusual cloud formations that can stretch for thousands of kilometers. Scientists continue to study these planets, as they may provide clues to how planets form and how life could exist in such extreme conditions. Did you know that some of these exoplanets may not even have a solid surface? Scientists suggest that instead, they could be enormous gaseous spheres, where pressure and temperature create conditions unsuitable for life as we know it. On Mars, there is the highest mountain in the solar system, the volcano Olympus, which reaches a height of 21 kilometers 900 meters. This is 2.5 times higher than Mount Everest, which is considered the highest peak on Earth and rises to 8,884 meters. But this is just the beginning. Olympus is not just a high mountain. It is a shield volcano that formed as a result of many millions of years of volcanic activity. Its base covers an area equal to the size of the entire state of Arizona, and its crater has a diameter of around 30 kilometers. How is this possible? The reason lies in the fact that Mars lacks tectonic plates, allowing volcanoes to grow indefinitely without losing their height. Have you ever wondered why Mount Olympus is so large? The answer lies in the unique conditions that prevail on the red planet. Mars' atmosphere is very thin, and its gravitational force is only 37% of Earth's. This means that any mountain formations can grow much higher than on Earth. And here's another fascinating detail. It is believed that the volcano has been dormant for about 1 million years, but scientists do not exclude the possibility that it could wake up in the future. Once, there could have been lakes with liquid water in the crater of Olympus, which means that life might have tried to emerge here as well. Inside the volcano, there are not only magma chambers, but also traces of ancient lava flows that gave it its unique shape. Volcanic eruptions could have released clouds of ash and gas into the Martian atmosphere, which then settled on the surface, forming a complex relief. There are even suggestions that some of these eruptions could have been so powerful that their traces are visible from space. Do you understand what I mean? Mount Olympus is not just a mountain. It is a whole world that holds the secrets of its volcanic activity and possible life. What do you think? What else does this mysterious planet hide? Research continues, and scientists hope to uncover even more secrets of Mars, for its surface is full of unexpected discoveries. Imagine this. In our galaxy, there could be up to 40 billion planets located in the habitable zone of their stars. This means that on these planets, conditions could be suitable for the existence of liquid water and consequently, life. But the most astonishing part is that scientists are confident that these planets are located just a few light-years away from us. For example, systems similar to ours could contain several planets that orbit their star at a distance that allows for the maintenance of a temperature necessary for life. Now imagine this. On a planet similar to Earth, there could be more than 30 billion potential new forms of life, each of which could develop differently than on our planet. It is important to note that for determining the habitable zone, astronomers consider not only the distance to the star, but also its type. For instance, red dwarfs, which make up about 7 out of 10 stars in our galaxy, can support life for much longer than brighter and hotter stars. It is expected that they will shine for more than 10 trillion years, opening up incredible prospects for the potential development of life. But that's not all. Recent research shows that even planets in a single star system can have moons that are also in the habitable zone. This means that not only planets, but also their moons, could be homes for complex ecosystems. And what's even more shocking? Scientists suggest that on some of these planets, conditions similar to those on early Earth, when life was just beginning to develop, could exist. And this makes the search for extraterrestrial life even more exciting. Research conducted with the help of new generation telescopes, such as the James Webb, has already begun to detect signs of water vapor and other molecules necessary for life in the atmospheres of exoplanets. And you won't believe this, but some of these planets are located less than 100 light-years away from us. So, what do you think we can learn about life on such planets? Now imagine that in the next few decades, humanity could send missions to these exoplanets to study them directly. This opens up entirely new horizons in astronomy and astrophysics, and scientists are already developing technologies for further exploration. So, what else might be hidden in the dark corners of our galaxy? There exist planets that can only be dreamed of, and one of them is 55 Cancri e. This exoplanet is located approximately 46 light-years away from Earth and has dimensions comparable to those of our planet, but with one astonishing difference. According to scientists' estimates, its core may consist of 30% diamonds. Imagine a world where billions of tons of precious stones simply lie beneath the surface. This is not just a fantasy. Scientists base their findings on data about high pressure and temperature on this planet. There, temperatures reach incredible 2,000 degrees Celsius, creating conditions where carbon can transform into diamonds, but on a much larger scale. But that's not all. The planet's atmosphere is rich in carbon dioxide, indicating that the conditions for life there are, to say the least, not the most favorable. But how did scientists arrive at such a conclusion? Unique spectroscopic research conducted with the Hubble telescope revealed that the planet absorbs and reflects light in a range characteristic of carbon. Now consider that planets like 55 Cancri e might not be the only ones of their kind. Research suggests that there could be hundreds, if not thousands, of such bodies in our galaxy, where diamonds are not a dream, but a reality. What's even more astonishing? Scientists hypothesize that in the future, we may develop technologies that allow us to mine these precious resources directly from space. How exactly will this look? Picture cosmic miners collecting diamonds from the surface of a planet. But this is still ahead of us. And for now, we can only imagine how many diamonds there might be on planets like 55 Cancri e and what value they could hold for humanity in the future. The Hubble Space Telescope has revolutionized astronomy by conducting over 1,400,000 observations over the course of 30 years. Imagine this. Each of these observations is not just a snapshot, but a whole story about distant galaxies, stars, and planets that are millions of light-years away from us. During this time, Hubble has transmitted approximately 150 terabytes of data back to Earth, equivalent to more than 30 million high-resolution photographs. This means that every astronomer could study the cosmos as if flipping through an enormous photo album filled with captivating images. The uniqueness of Hubble lies in its ability to capture details previously considered unattainable. For instance, it has captured stars forming in vast clouds of gas and even recorded the moment when galaxies collide. But here's the most incredible part. Hubble has discovered exoplanets in other star systems, opening new horizons in the search for life beyond Earth. One of its most famous discoveries is the deep fields, areas of the cosmos that have been studied for extended periods, and each time Hubble finds new galaxies that were previously unknown. In one such field, astronomers counted more than 10,000 galaxies, each of which could contain billions of stars. This means that in just one area of the cosmos that we once considered empty, there are entire worlds waiting to be explored. Hubble has also shown that our universe is expanding much faster than previously thought, thanks to observations that confirm the theory of dark energy. This mysterious force causes the universe to stretch, and Hubble was one of the first instruments to prove this. If you thought these discoveries were merely coincidental, know that each of them became possible due to Hubble's ability to observe in various spectra of light, including ultraviolet and infrared. This means it could see what is invisible to our eyes. For example, with Hubble, astronomers were able to study the atmospheres of exoplanets by analyzing the light passing through them, and this discovery was a true breakthrough in astronomy. And that's not all. Hubble continues to operate despite its age, and its data are still used for new research and discoveries, as it has become a true cosmic archive where each entry is a step toward understanding the structure and evolution of our universe. Cosmic strings are hypothetical one-dimensional defects in the structure of space-time that could have emerged at the moment of the universe's birth. Imagine space-time as an elastic membrane, and cosmic strings as thin threads that pierce it, altering its shape and properties. These strings could possess extraordinary density, potentially allowing them to interact with matter and energy at levels we can only dream of. Research indicates that if such strings do exist, their influence on galaxy formation could have been significant. For instance, they could act as gravitational lenses, bending light and creating effects we observe in the cosmos as gravitational lensing artifacts. Moreover, these strings could be the source of gravitational waves, which we are just beginning to detect with modern detectors like LIGO. What's most fascinating? If cosmic strings do exist, they could be the key to understanding dark matter and dark energy, which make up around 95% of all matter in the universe. But that's not all. Some theories suggest that cosmic strings could form structures known as string networks, which could interact with each other, creating remarkable effects in space-time. These networks could be as complex as microscopic structures, and their interactions could influence large-scale cosmic processes. If you thought that was strange enough, consider that some scientists propose that the vibrations of these strings could be the basis for quantum effects we observe at the subatomic level. Thus, cosmic strings could connect the scale of the universe with the world of elementary particles, bridging two seemingly disparate realms. Now imagine if we could discover these strings. It could completely change our understanding of the laws of physics. They could be more than just abstract concepts. They could be real objects containing secrets about how the universe originated and how it will evolve. Research in this area continues, and new data could emerge at any moment, potentially revolutionizing our understanding of the cosmos. The planet WASP-12b, located just 8 million kilometers from its star, is literally evaporating before our eyes. The temperature on its surface reaches an astonishing 400 degrees Celsius. Imagine this is not just a hot planet, but a real hell where gravitational forces turn it into an egg shape. This is due to the powerful gravitational pull of the star, which causes strong tidal forces that stretch the planet, creating an effect known as tidal deformation. It's fascinating that WASP-12b is so hot that its atmosphere is mostly composed of metal vapors like sodium and potassium, which normally exist in solid form. But that's not all. Due to intense heating, the atmosphere of this planet is constantly escaping into space, and astronomers estimate that it loses about 30 million tons of gas each day. Water cannot exist in its usual form on such a planet, and instead, metallic vapor clouds hang over its surface. What's even more shocking? Scientists have discovered that WASP-12b has enormous winds, with speeds reaching 30 kilometers per hour. This creates incredible conditions where every moment on the planet can be completely different. With one orbit around the star taking only 8 hours, Imagine that a day on this planet is 8 hours long, and a night is also just 8 hours. This makes it one of the strangest places in the universe. But wait, there's more. Recently, astronomers found that the planet may have a more complex atmosphere than previously thought, with possible signs of exotic molecules that could astound us with their properties. How can such molecules affect the atmosphere? The answer remains to be discovered. And now, the most intriguing part, there is a possibility that this planet may be subject to unusual atmospheric phenomena, such as hot southern winds, which could change its climate throughout the year. This opens new horizons for the study of exoplanets and their interactions with parent stars. Will we ever be able to unravel all the mysteries of WASP-12b? Perhaps it will become a key to new discoveries in astronomy and astrophysics that will change our understanding of life beyond Earth. Imagine a universe where our reality is just one bubble in an ocean of infinite bubbles. This is the concept of the inflationary theory, which captivates the mind and makes one ponder the scale of existence. According to this theory, after the Big Bang, there was a hyperinflation, causing space to expand faster than the speed of light. Currently, scientists suggest that there are billions of such bubbles, each with its own physical laws and constants. Isn't it crazy? Some of these bubbles could be so different from our universe that they might not even have the laws we consider fundamental, such as gravity. In one bubble, life might exist, while in another, there might be no conditions for it at all. Now, imagine these bubbles colliding with each other. When two bubbles collide, it can lead to the formation of new universes. It's like a cosmic show where each bubble is a separate scene with unique characters and plots. But that's not all. Some scientists propose that such collisions could be the cause of anomalies we observe in our universe, such as cosmic microwave background radiation. Isn't that fascinating? And now comes the really mind-blowing part. If our universe is just one bubble, what lies beyond these bubbles? We can't even imagine what it's like to exist outside these boundaries. There's a possibility that in this vast expanse, there could be entirely different forms of matter and energy that we don't even know about. This challenges everything we know about reality. But here's what's even more shocking. Some theorists suggest that information from other bubbles might one day intersect with ours, opening doors to new forms of understanding and existence. In the end, each bubble could be like a separate book in a library of infinite possibilities, and we've barely begun to read ours. Are you ready for the next chapter of this incredible story? On the planet HD 189733b, the weather is utterly unimaginable. Imagine rain showers of glass shards, with temperatures reaching 1,000 degrees Celsius. How is this possible? The key lies in the fact that this exoplanet is only 40 light-years away from Earth, and its atmosphere is primarily composed of methane and water vapor, creating extraordinary conditions. Wind speeds here can reach 8,700 kilometers per hour, exceeding the speed of sound. But how is this possible? HD 189733b is a gas giant that orbits very close to its star, leading to extreme heating and powerful winds. If you could stand on its surface, the wind would be so strong that it could blow away objects from the ground, like a storm on Earth, but millions of times stronger. The most astonishing thing is that these glassy precipitation forms from silicates, which, under constant temperature and pressure, crystallize into sharp shards, creating rain that can tear apart any material. Despite these harsh conditions, scientists suggest that other planets in this system might have more suitable conditions for life. How is this possible if there are other planets near HD 189733b? It turns out that there are planets in this system that are at a more comfortable distance from their star and could have more favorable conditions for life. Just imagine being on a planet where the temperature in the atmosphere can change so rapidly that each moment could be the last. Scientists are actively studying these worlds using space telescopes like the Hubble to understand how exoplanets form and what conditions might exist on other planets. But don't forget that HD 189733b also exhibits other anomalies, such as unusual clouds that can change color depending on the composition of the atmosphere. And what's even more astonishing, On this planet, unique atmospheric phenomena can occur that we cannot even imagine, because the conditions there are completely unlike those on Earth. At the center of the galaxy, M87, lies a supermassive black hole, whose mass exceeds that of our Sun by more than 600 billion times. In 2019, the world saw for the first time an image of this mysterious structure, created by the Event Horizon Telescope project, which combined data from 8 radio telescopes around the world. What do you think it's like to see the shadow of a black hole located approximately 6.5 million light-years away from Earth? This iconic image not only showed the black hole itself, but also the surrounding gas, which is rapidly rotating around it. This glow is formed because the matter heats up to incredible temperatures, reaching millions of degrees Celsius before crossing the event horizon, known as the event horizon. But what is even more intriguing? Around this black hole, powerful jets are observed, which are ejected at nearly the speed of light and travel millions of light-years into intergalactic space, like powerful lasers slicing through cosmic darkness. These jets can contain particles that carry information about the physics of black holes and the interaction of matter and energy. And now imagine this. In the very heart of this black hole lies a region where the laws of physics, as we know them, cease to exist. This zone, where gravity is so strong that time and space are distorted to the extreme, creates conditions that are impossible to imagine. If you think that's all, wait. There is a hypothesis that black holes can be connected to other universes through what are known as wormholes. And the most shocking thing? Research shows that such black holes can even influence the formation of galaxies and stars, creating something like a cosmic web that connects billions of galaxies. On Pluto, astronomers have discovered a remarkable region, dubbed the Heart, a bright formation resembling a heart, spanning approximately 900,000 square kilometers, composed of frozen nitrogen, methane, and carbon dioxide. Notably, this structure, named Charon, stands out against the dark surface of Pluto, making it visible even from great distances. But that's not all. The surface temperature of Charon is around minus 260 degrees Celsius, making it one of the coldest places in the solar system. Moreover, complex geological processes may be taking place within this icy heart, including the movement of ice plates similar to those seen on Earth. Additionally, the frozen nitrogen in this area could be the source of rare atmospheric phenomena such as ice clouds. What's even more astonishing? Internal processes on Pluto could be active despite its distance from the Sun. Beneath its surface, there may be oceans of liquid water that support life on the planet. The heart of Pluto, it seems, is the result of complex interactions between the atmosphere and the icy crust, leaving scientists with many unanswered questions. Research indicates that Pluto is not just a lifeless body, its surface is constantly changing, and the heart may be evidence of geological activity. This discovery raises questions about what other secrets this dwarf planet at the edge of our solar system may hold. For instance, how does its atmosphere change when it approaches the Sun? Why is the heart twice as bright as the surrounding surface? On Pluto, large chasms several kilometers wide have also been discovered, suggesting that this world may still surprise us with its mysteries. What if beneath its icy crust lie traces of ancient life? Scientists continue to explore, and each new discovery opens new horizons for understanding this enigmatic world. Our solar system hides a remarkable Kuiper belt, stretching beyond the orbit of Neptune and encompassing a vast region filled with icy objects. Did you know that there are thousands of such objects there, including Pluto, which was once considered the 9th planet? The Kuiper belt begins approximately 30 astronomical units from the Sun and extends to 150 astronomical units, covering immense spaces where cold and darkness reign. These icy bodies, some as large as cities, are remnants of the primary material that formed our solar system. What's fascinating is that some of these objects have moons, like planets. For instance, Pluto has 5 known moons, including Charon, which is almost as large as Pluto itself. But that's not all. Scientists have discovered that in the Kuiper belt, there are bodies with orbits that approach those of planets, calling into question their status as just icy objects. The object known as Eris is even larger than Pluto and has its own moon, highlighting the diversity and complexity of this region. There are also objects that are true mysteries. Their composition, sizes, and orbits are still actively studied by astronomers. For example, the mysterious object known as Trombold could be an icy giant with an unusual orbit that makes scientists ponder unknown forces at work in this area. And what about the fact that as scientists study the Kuiper Belt, they find more and more objects that could fundamentally change our understanding of planet formation? It is expected that in the future, new objects will be discovered that will open new doors to knowledge about our solar system. And here's another shocker. Some of these icy bodies could become targets for future space missions, as they hold clues about how life may have originated on Earth. In the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way, lies an extraordinary phenomenon, a supermassive black hole known as Sagittarius A star. This black hole has a mass that exceeds the mass of the Sun by 4 million times, equivalent to the mass of 30 million Earth planets. But how did astronomers manage to discover such a colossal object? Using electronic and radio telescopes, scientists observed stars orbiting an invisible object and calculated its mass based on their orbital movements. This observation was a breakthrough. Stars located about 25,000 light-years away from us move so fast that their orbits become true codes, revealing the secrets of Sagittarius A star. Imagine looking at stars orbiting a black hole at a speed of over 1 million kilometers per hour. It's like witnessing the formula of energy at the edge of possibility. But how does such a black hole form? The secret lies in the collapse of massive stars that, after exhausting their fuel, shrink under the influence of their own gravity. This leads to the formation of a black hole that begins to absorb surrounding matter, creating an accretion disk, a rotating flow of gas and dust that heats up to millions of degrees, emitting powerful X-ray radiation. What's fascinating is that these X-ray rays can be detected by telescopes, allowing astronomers to see the black hole, even though it remains invisible. Sagittarius. A star is not just a black hole, it acts as a gigantic magnet, attracting everything in its vicinity. Scientists believe that a vast amount of matter orbits around it, creating a cosmic vortex. And that's not all. Black holes like Sagittarius A star can have a colossal impact on the formation of stars and galaxies. For example, their gravitational attraction can cause gas clouds to compress, facilitating the birth of new stars. But how exactly does a black hole influence the evolution of an entire galaxy? This raises a whole range of questions about the nature of space and time. Scientists suggest that such formations may even be connected to how galaxies are formed. Complex interactions between black holes and surrounding matter can lead to the creation of new star systems and even entire galaxies. And what's even more captivating? In recent years, astronomers have discovered that in the center of many galaxies similar to our Milky Way, there are supermassive black holes, challenging our very understanding of the structure of the universe. Amidst the vast expanses of our galaxy, there exists an astonishing cloud known as Sagittarius B2, which contains colossal volumes of ethanol, equivalent to billions of liters. Imagine a cosmic cloud, located approximately 130,000 light-years away from Earth, harboring reserves of alcohol sufficient to intoxicate every resident of our planet. This ethanol is formed through complex chemical reactions in the interstellar medium, where gas and dust collide to create molecules. What does this mean? In Sagittarius B2, we are not just dealing with molecules, but a genuine cosmic barrel of alcoholic beverage, ready for consumption. But this is not the most astonishing part. The cloud spans a diameter of 130 light-years, making it one of the largest known clouds in our galaxy. Picture this. Conditions in this cloud could potentially facilitate the formation of organic molecules necessary for life. Essentially, it is like an enormous celestial laboratory vessel where chemical reactions similar to those that led to the emergence of life on Earth could be taking place. And what is most intriguing? Astronomers hypothesize that there is enough alcohol in this cloud to produce several trillion planets with conditions suitable for life. This, in turn, challenges our understanding of where and how life might arise in other corners of the universe. How could such a cloud have formed? The answer lies in the process of star formation, where stars are born from gas clouds, and in the aftermath of their deaths, they expel various chemical elements, including ethanol, into space. But this is not all. Astronomers continue to study Sagittarius B2, revealing new details about its composition and properties. And what is truly astonishing, molecules found in this cloud could be precursors to amino acids, the building blocks of life. It sounds like a scenario from a science fiction film, but this is the reality of astronomy. With each new discovery, scientists are getting closer to unraveling the mysteries hidden within this cosmic cloud, and we are beginning to understand just how extraordinary our universe can be. Sloan's Great Wall is not just an astronomical structure, it is one of the most monumental discoveries ever made by humanity. Imagine a length of 1,370,000,000 light-years. That is 8 times the distance from Earth to the nearest galaxy. It consists of thousands of galaxies grouped into massive clusters that form enormous walls and voids, like a gigantic web stretched across the boundless expanse of the cosmos. It is fascinating that this structure was discovered relatively recently, in 2001, when astronomers, using data from the Hubble Space Telescope, began to grasp the true scale of this gigantic galactic network. But that is not the most astonishing part. Sloan's Great Wall is not the only one, and our universe contains many similar structures, but none can match its size and mass. For example, there is also the Laniakea Great Wall, but none can rival the incredible extent of Sloan. This raises an interesting question. How do such gigantic objects form? The answer lies in gravitational interaction. Galaxies attract each other, forming these colossal aggregations. Did you know that if we could see the entire wall in one frame, its brightness would be so high that it could outshine the brightest stars in the night sky? But that's not all. The size and mass of Sloan's Great Wall are such that they can influence the movement of other galaxies in its vicinity. This means that the Great Wall is not just static, it actively participates in the dynamics of the cosmos. Now, imagine being at the edge of this structure, seeing billions of stars and galaxies intersect in the endless space. Have you ever wondered what lies beyond these gigantic walls? What mysteries does the universe hold? Perhaps beyond them lie even more extraordinary structures that we have not yet discovered. And here's another shocking fact. Some astronomers suggest that these walls may exist in the form of cosmic bubbles, where gravity creates voids and concentrations of matter, forming real islands of galaxies in the void. Scientists continue to study these structures, and perhaps soon we will learn more about how they form and how they influence the evolution of the universe. On Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, something extraordinary is happening. Geysers of water are erupting from cracks in the icy crust, reaching heights of up to 500 kilometers. Imagine water jets that are several times taller than Earth's atmosphere. These geysers not only release water vapor, but also small ice particles, forming clouds that then fall back onto the moon's surface. Scientific missions like Cassini have discovered that these water eruptions contain complex organic molecules that may be linked to potential forms of life. Did you know that in some places, the surface temperature reaches -215 degrees Celsius, and beneath the icy shell, there may be an ocean of liquid water? This ocean could be deeper than any ocean on Earth, with a depth likely reaching hundreds of kilometers. But that's not all. Underwater volcanoes, spewing hot gases, can create conditions favorable for life. These geysers not only captivate scientists with their scale, but also make them ponder the existence of an ecosystem hidden beneath the icy crust. What's even more astonishing? Analysis of particles from these geysers shows the presence of methane molecules, which on Earth are typically produced by living organisms. This raises the question, could primitive forms of life have ever existed on Enceladus? Each new fact about the moon reveals more mysteries, and this is just the beginning. There are even theories that the active geysers could be related to geothermal activity, similar to that observed on Earth in hot springs. How long do you think it will take to explore all these mysteries? And here's another interesting point. The geysers on Enceladus eject water with such force that they form a plume visible even from a distance of several million kilometers from Saturn. This is a true cosmic spectacle that makes us wonder what other secrets our solar system holds. On Titan, Saturn's moon, there are methane lakes that resemble Earth's bodies of water, but with a crucial difference. Instead of water, they flow with methane. These lakes cover an area equivalent to the Caspian Sea, which is astonishing given that methane exists in liquid form on Titan due to its extremely low temperature, reaching -166 degrees Celsius. Imagine this. In this cold world, processes similar to those that occurred on Earth in its youth can exist. Titan's atmosphere is composed of 80% nitrogen, and methane is more abundant in it than in Earth's atmosphere. This creates conditions that could be favorable for the emergence of life. But that's not all. Methane clouds and rain of hydrocarbons form a dynamic climate system that is unique in the solar system. And what's even more astonishing? Titan has rivers and lakes that look like Earth's, but instead of water, they flow with hydrocarbons. These rivers can reach lengths of thousands of kilometers, and the depth of the lakes can be up to 40 meters. Research shows that methane lakes may even contain complex organic molecules, raising questions about the possibility of primitive life. Now, imagine that beneath Titan's icy crust, there could be oceans of liquid water. Scientists suggest this is possible due to geothermal activity, which could support life in places where sunlight does not reach. Studying Titan could open new horizons in the search for extraterrestrial life, as it is the only place in the solar system where we can observe processes similar to those that occurred on early Earth. Moreover, in 2001, the Cassini probe discovered that Titan's surface is diverse, with vast methane seas and wide plains that could serve as a place for life to emerge. But that's not all. Beneath the surface, entire ecosystems may be waiting to be explored. In essence, Titan is not just a moon, but a potential object for the search for life, which could change our understanding of what it means to be alive in such a harsh environment. In space, there exist magnetars, neutron stars with magnetic fields that are trillions of times stronger than on Earth. Imagine a magnet that can pull a metallic object from a distance of hundreds of kilometers. In such stars, which form after the explosion of massive stars, there is an incredible compression of matter, leading to the formation of densities that are hard to imagine. 1 teaspoon of magnetar material weighs as much as a mountain. And that's not all. Magnetars emit powerful X-ray and gamma rays that can easily penetrate any obstacles, including our atmosphere. But what is truly shocking is that their magnetic fields can cause significant anomalies in the surrounding space, transforming even ordinary atoms into something completely fantastic. Do you know what happens when a magnetar's magnetic field interacts with other stars? In such cases, stars can lose part of their mass, creating a kind of feast table of gases and debris around the magnetar. But that's not the craziest part. Magnetars can sing. Their activation and oscillations create sounds that can be recorded and listened to. And when they become active, their radiation can cause particle outbursts that travel at speeds close to the speed of light. There have even been cases where such outbursts reached Earth, causing polar auroras that we observe. But what is even more astonishing? Magnetars can turn off for decades and then reactivate, as if they were coming back to life. Now imagine that scientists have discovered a magnetar that is only 60,000 light-years away from us, and its magnetic field is so strong that it influences the movement of other objects in its galaxy. This raises incredible curiosity. What else is hidden in the depths of such stars, and what secrets can they reveal? And here's another interesting detail. In space, magnetars can form pairs with other neutron stars, and such binary systems can lead to catastrophic events that generate powerful gravitational waves, ripples in space-time that we have only just begun to detect. Scientists around the world continue to study magnetars, and each new fact they uncover makes us rethink our place in the universe. In the cosmos, there are incredible secrets hidden, and one of them is connected to ethanol molecules. Imagine that in the clouds of gas where stars begin to form, scientists have discovered ethanol molecules. Yes, that very ethanol that we know as a component of alcohol. These molecules were detected in clouds located more than 130 light-years away from Earth, in star-forming systems where the processes of star formation are in full swing. But this is just the beginning. It turns out that alcohol is formed under conditions that defy imagination, as a result of complex chemical reactions taking place in cold and dense clouds. Picture this: in these dark gas nebulae, where temperatures can drop to minus 200 degrees Celsius, water and carbon combine to form organic compounds. And here's where it gets really mind-boggling. In such conditions, where absolute darkness and cold reign, ethanol molecules can serve as the basis for the formation of complex organic compounds that could eventually lead to the emergence of life. This discovery forces us to rethink our understanding of where and how life might originate in the universe. Now imagine that these clouds containing alcohol could not only be the cradle of stars, but also the potential nursery for future planets where life could develop. Scientists from the European Southern Observatory made this discovery using the ALMA radio telescope, which detected ethanol molecules in the star-forming region known as IRAS 1882. It's hard to imagine, but it is in these dark corners of the cosmos that an incredible process takes place, which could lead to the creation of planets where life could one day arise. But that's not all. In these same clouds, other interesting molecules were also found, such as methanol, which could also play a significant role in the chemistry of life's emergence. And the most shocking thing? These discoveries challenge our understanding of how and where life might arise, because even in the most extreme and cold conditions of the cosmos, elements necessary for its appearance can exist. Dark energy, a mysterious substance, makes up approximately 68% of the entire universe, and its nature remains one of the biggest scientific mysteries of our time. Imagine this. While visible matter, including stars, planets, and galaxies, constitutes only 32%, dark energy dictates the behavior of the entire cosmic structure, causing it to expand at an accelerating rate. And now, the most astonishing part. This expansion is not just happening, it is accelerating, and it is dark energy that is responsible for this acceleration. The discovery of this fact in the late 90s was a shock for astronomers, as they expected gravity to slow down the movement of galaxies. The main research was conducted using observations of supernovae, and the results showed that the universe is expanding faster than ever before. How is this possible? The secret lies in the properties of dark energy itself, which seems to possess negative pressure, causing its anti-gravity effect. But that's not all. Scientists suggest that dark energy might be connected to quantum fluctuations in empty space. This opens up entirely new horizons in understanding the universe, making us wonder about its future. What are the boundaries of this mysterious force? And do you know that some theories suggest that dark energy might change its state over time? This means that in the future, the expansion of the universe could either slow down or, conversely, accelerate to intolerable speeds. Moreover, if scientists can unravel its mysteries, this could lead to a revolution in our physics. Today's models, such as lambda cold dark matter, describe dark energy as constant. But what if that's not the case? Are there alternative theories that explain this phenomenon differently? For instance, some researchers consider the hypothesis of dynamic dark energy, which could change depending on the density of matter in the universe. This opens the door to numerous new experiments and observations that could change our understanding of the universe. And what makes this topic even more intriguing is that dark energy might be the key to understanding not only the expansion of the universe, but also its very structure. Discovering new properties of dark energy could help us understand how the universe formed and what its ultimate fate might be. Currently, scientists are tirelessly working on this enigma, and each new experiment brings with it astonishing discoveries that could change our perception of reality. For example, in the 21st century, astronomers began using the Hubble Space Telescope for more precise measurements, which indicate that dark energy might be connected to a mysterious substance known as cosmological constant. This means that we might be on the verge of a discovery that will revolutionize our understanding of the universe and what space and time are. The spacecraft Voyager 1 was the first human-made object to leave the boundaries of the solar system. it crossed the heliopause and ventured into the vast expanse of interstellar space. Remarkably, since its launch in 1977, more than 40 years have passed, and Voyager 1 continues to transmit data to scientists on Earth. This spacecraft travels at a speed of approximately 62,000 kilometers per hour, making it the fastest object ever created by humans. Imagine, it has already traveled more than 23 billion kilometers from our planet. But the most fascinating aspect is that Voyager 1 carries a golden record on board, containing sounds and images representing life on Earth, a kind of message to extraterrestrial civilizations. On this record are songs from various parts of our planet, including classical music by Bach and folk melodies from different cultures. There are also visual elements, photographs of people, animals, and landscapes of Earth, which should help extraterrestrials understand what human means. Furthermore, Voyager 1 was specifically designed to function for more than 30 years, and it continues to operate today. It transmits data about the cosmic environment, magnetic fields, and solar wind, helping scientists better understand how Earth interacts with its surrounding environment in space. Did you know that Voyager 1 uses a radioactive power source to maintain its functionality, even in the extreme cold of interstellar space? This source, known as a radioisotope thermoelectric generator, converts the heat released by radioactive decay into electricity. But that's not all. Voyager 1 was the first spacecraft to capture photographs of Jupiter and its moons, as well as Saturn with its magnificent rings. These images changed our understanding of these planets and opened new horizons for astronomy. Moreover, Voyager 1 continues its journey into the depths of the galaxy, and its message may one day reach other star systems, leaving traces of human civilization behind. And the most amazing thing is that Voyager 1 can still transmit information about what it sees, despite its energy being depleted and the distance to Earth increasing every day. In the cosmos, there exist mysterious planets known as hot Jupiters, whose behavior puzzles astronomers. Imagine colossal gas giants orbiting their stars in reverse, defying all existing theories on planetary formation. These planets can be mere millions of kilometers from their stars, yet their temperatures can reach incredible 10,000 degrees Celsius, making them the hottest planets in our galaxy. But how is this possible? One hypothesis suggests that hot Jupiters could have formed at a great distance from their stars and then migrated inward, encountering gravitational forces and interactions with other planets. This movement can be so strong that the planet changes its rotation direction, as observed in some exoplanets. What's even more astonishing, some of these planets have orbits so tight that one of their years lasts only 12 Earth hours, meaning they complete 30 rotations around their star in just one of our days. One of the most famous hot Jupiters, HD 12631, orbits its star in reverse and is located about 136 light-years from Earth. Its discovery was a breakthrough in astronomy, as it was previously thought that such orbits were impossible. Research shows that hot Jupiters may have atmospheres composed of hydrogen and helium, with possible clouds of metallic vapors, creating breathtaking sights on these exoplanets. But that's not all. Astronomers believe there are planets that could be not only hot Jupiters, but also in the process of formation, opening new horizons for the study of exoplanets and their behavior. The discovery of such planets raises many questions about how planetary systems form and evolve in our galaxy. What are the true mechanisms governing their movement? How does this affect the possibility of life on other planets? New data from space only begins to lift the veil of mystery, and scientists continue to explore these amazing worlds to understand what else might be hidden in the depths of the universe. Imagine that nearly 30% of the entire universe consists of something that is invisible, dark matter. Yes, you heard it right. Dark matter does not emit, reflect, or absorb light, so it is impossible to see. But how do we know about its existence? All thanks to its gravitational influence. It's like an invisible shield that holds galaxies together, and without it, they would fall apart. Research conducted in 2001 showed that the rotation of galaxies is so fast that if it weren't for this mysterious matter, stars on their edges would simply fly off into space. And now, the most intriguing part. Dark matter, according to scientists' estimates, is 3 times more abundant than the ordinary matter we know: stars, planets, and gas. This means that everything we see makes up only about 23% of the universe. But what exactly is this dark matter? Research indicates that it could be elusive particles like WIMPs, weakly interacting massive particles, which are shrouded in mystery. Imagine particles that can pass through us without leaving a trace. It's like trying to catch the wind. And here's where it gets really mind-boggling. In 2021, when astronomers tried to detect these particles, they encountered unexpected difficulties. All experiments aimed at finding them, such as detectors in underground laboratories, yielded no results. But what's even more astonishing? Some scientists suggest that dark energy, which makes up about 70% of the universe, may be connected to dark matter. This further complicates our understanding. If dark matter holds galaxies together, dark energy seems to be pushing them apart. How is this possible? This opens up new horizons for research. Scientists are working on numerous theories, and each one has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of the universe. For instance, in 2020, a group of astronomers discovered that galaxies that are moving away from us are accelerating, not slowing down as previously thought. This could mean that dark energy acts like some kind of anti-gravity. So, what do we really know about the majority of the universe? Research continues, and each new discovery raises new questions. What will be the next step in unraveling this cosmic puzzle?